If you're skipping breakfast because you've run out of ideas or you're short on time, prepare to be inspired. Together, we're going to deliciously elevate chia seed pudding. I'm showing you 4 exciting variations that will taste like you're on vacation, but they're all naturally sweetened, nutrient-dense, and gluten-free. Chia seeds may be tiny, but they are packed with nutrition and make a healthy pudding with endless flavor possibilities. Chia seeds are a supercharged superfood for several reasons. They help with weight management by helping you feel full longer. Their high fiber content promotes healthy digestion. They're rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which support heart health and reduce inflammation. And they provide antioxidant protection. We're going to start by making a very basic chia seed pudding base, which we can then flavor however we like. We're going to start with 1 cup of non-dairy milk. And my favorite is using unsweetened almond milk. And then we're going to add 4 tablespoons of chia seeds. You can buy white or black chia seeds, but they have the exact same nutritional value. The black are a little bit easier to find. And as a natural sweetener, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. But you could also use honey or agave nectar. And for additional flavor, we'll add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and a dash of salt. And then you'll want to take a fork and just stir your chia seeds into your milk. And within the first couple of minutes, the chia seeds are already going to start expanding and soaking up the liquid. So you'll want to let it sit for about 3 or 4 minutes and then come back and stir it again just so that those seeds don't clump together. And now I'm giving it an additional stir. And then we'll simply put on our lid. And this will go into the fridge for at least 3 to 4 hours or overnight. I love creating layers for my chia seed pudding, and not just because they look really beautiful, but they also add layers of flavor. So my favorite is to add my honey Greek yogurt. So I'm going to start with 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt. Now you can buy pre-sweetened honey Greek yogurt, but it has a lot of additional sugars and ingredients that I prefer to avoid. Because in my yogurt, I can ensure that honey is the only sweetener I'm using. Then I'll add 1 tablespoon of honey. Okay, maybe a heaping tablespoon. Use my spatula to make sure I don't miss any. Now the honey will give it a very delicious flavor, but I find it does need a little bit additional sweetening. So I'm going to add an additional tablespoon of maple syrup. And for flavor, we'll add half a teaspoon of vanilla and a dash of salt. Then we'll simply stir that together with the spatula. That smells absolutely delicious. And for a little pinky test. That's just perfectly tangy, but I also get the sweetness from the honey and then just a nice overall sweetness from the maple syrup. I think it tastes much fresher and delicious than anything store-bought. My peanut butter banana chia seed pudding includes fresh sliced bananas, drizzled peanut butter, my honey Greek yogurt, my chocolate chip peanut butter granola, peanuts, and chocolate sprinkles. There's no doubt these flavors were made for each other. We're going to start by slicing a fresh banana. I'm just going to cut about half of this medium to large banana, and then I'll slice it in half down the straight edge. And then we'll flip those over, and then I'm going to slice down the spine with a slight curve. And then we'll go ahead and just slice those into about 1/2-inch chunks. And we're going to start with about 1/3 to 1/2 cup of our chia seed pudding that soaked overnight. And then we're going to add a little handful of our fresh banana slices. And I like to make sure that those banana slices make their way all the way to the sides so that I can visually see them inside my cup. Because we definitely eat with our eyes. Next, we'll want to create our peanut butter layer. I find it works really well to pour some unsweetened peanut butter into just a little squeeze bottle, because then it's really easy to get it into my cup. So we'll go ahead and just squeeze in some peanut butter. And again, I want to make sure the peanut butter goes all the way to the edge so that I can see that delicious layer inside my cup. I'll make sure we get some across the middle as well. And find with the natural peanut butters, they're a little bit on the runnier side, so this will be very easy with that type of peanut butter. And now we get to add in a layer of our honey Greek yogurt. Scoop some in, and hopefully not make too big of a mess. So I want to make it thick enough that I got a nice layer of white all the way around my cup. Now we can add what I think is the best part, which is my chocolate chip peanut butter granola. And I've included a link in the description below to my video and recipe card of how to make this granola. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some of this on top. And this granola is naturally sweetened and uses oats and is gluten-free and just tastes incredible. And then to add a little more crunch, I like to add just a few roasted peanuts on top. Again, just to emphasize, inside the cup, just to emphasize the delicious flavor of this pudding. And then we'll finish it off with a few more slices of our banana. Well, that is a delicious, nutrient-dense breakfast that would definitely get me out of bed in the morning. My blueberry cheesecake chia seed pudding includes chia seed pudding, my gluten-free graham cracker bits, my honey cream cheese Greek yogurt, fresh blueberries, and mint leaves. You won't believe you're eating healthy cheesecake for breakfast, and you could easily replace the blueberries for any combination of berries. To prep, we're going to begin by making our cream cheese honey Greek yogurt. So we're going to simply take about half a cup of our pre-made honey Greek yogurt, and then we're going to simply add about 1/4 cup of some whipped cream cheese. And then we're going to add just about 1/2 teaspoon of lemon just to wake it up a little and add to that cream cheese flavor. And then we will want to add an additional tablespoon of maple syrup to compensate for the added cream cheese as well as that little bit of lemon. And then just simply give this a good stir. Now, although this pudding has both the chia seed pudding and the blueberries in it, and they're both going to go into your mouth for a delicious taste, I think it looks extra beautiful to add some of that purple blueberry juice to the chia seed pudding to give it that beautiful purple color. So I have found the best way to do that is with frozen blueberries. And I've just taken about 2 tablespoons here of some frozen blueberries, and then I put them in the microwave for about 25 seconds just to help melt them down. And you can see just that beautiful purple juice that's coming out from them. Oops, yep, there's some that just squirted out. And we're just going to smash our blueberries with a fork to help release that beautiful purple juice color. Yeah, Mother Nature is really amazing when it comes to natural food coloring. And now we'll add about 1 cup of our pre-made chia seed pudding to a bowl. And then we're going to pour in that purple juice. I'll go ahead and leave out the bits of blueberry so that those aren't mixed throughout the pudding. You can see that beautiful purple color being spread throughout the pudding. And the best part of any cheesecake, of course, is the graham cracker crust. Now, you could simply just break up some store-bought graham crackers and place them in the bottom of the cup, but these aren't going to be gluten-free and these will be processed and include processed white sugar. So instead, I've made my gluten-free graham cracker bits. And I've included a link to this recipe in the description below. And these are made gluten-free with oat flour and they're naturally sweetened. And they have a little kiss of molasses, which gives them that classic graham cracker flavor. They are so delicious. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour a handful of our graham cracker bits down into the bottom of our glass. And in my recipe, I make these nice and crunchy so that they can soak up the juices of whatever they're served with. Now we can go ahead and spoon in some of our beautiful purple chia seed pudding. And now we can add our cream cheese honey Greek yogurt. I'll leave about 1/2 inch at the top for our extra toppings. And now we can add some more of our graham cracker bits because why not? I'm going to put those kind of near the edge to make sure we can see those. And then we'll add in some of our fresh blueberries on top. Oh, that looks so beautiful. Now I know it's just breakfast, but we can go ahead and add just a little sprig of mint leaves to the top just to make it extra special. And now you have a beautiful blueberry cheesecake chia seed pudding that's been elevated to something truly special, but it's also nutrient dense, naturally sweetened, and it's going to keep you feeling full all morning long. My chocolate raspberry chia seed pudding includes chocolate chia seed pudding, my chocolate Greek yogurt mousse, my double chocolate granola, and fresh raspberries. Now I realize that eating chocolate for breakfast might seem too good to be true, but this pudding is nutrient dense and it's naturally sweetened with minimal sugar. We're going to begin by taking our chia seed base and then adding some chocolate flavor to it. So we'll start with 1 cup of chia seed pudding, and then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder, and we'll need an additional tablespoon of maple syrup to help compensate for the cocoa powder. And then we're going to simply mix those together until well combined. And now we'll make a really light and fluffy chocolate Greek yogurt mousse. You can either use pre-made whipped cream or go ahead and whip it yourself. So I'm going to add just 1/2 cup of whipping cream to the beaker cup that comes with my immersion blender. And then with the whisk on my immersion blender, I'll go ahead and just mix this until it starts to form peaks. Wow, that is so fast. And now in a bowl, I'm going to add half a cup of just plain Greek yogurt, 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a dash of salt. I'll go ahead and just mix this with a spatula until well combined. And now we can add our whipping cream. Oh, that looks so beautiful. Now we'll just want to gently fold this into our yogurt mixture until they're combined, because we don't want to break down that whipped cream. And now we can assemble our pudding. Now to add a little bit of crunch as well as 2 additional superfoods, including oats and almonds, I'm going to sprinkle in some of my chocolate granola into the bottom of my cup. And this is going to be absolutely delicious, and it's going to add just a little more flavor and a little more texture. And then now we can add in a layer of our chocolate chia seed pudding. Oh, it has such a great consistency, makes it very easy to work with. And now we can add a layer of our delicious chocolate, cream cheese, Greek yogurt mousse. And I love the lighter brown color of this, just really adds a really aesthetic element to our cup, kind of breaking up the darker colors of the chia seed pudding and the granola. And now we want to sprinkle the top with a little bit more of our chocolate granola to add a little more crunch and flavor. And the star of this pudding, of course, is our raspberries. And I'm going to simply break those in half just to make them a little bit more bite-sized. Now you could use strawberries or any other berry that you like. Now I know this is just breakfast, but to make it extra special, I'm going to add a few little chocolate sprinkles. Sprinkles make everything better, right? Well, that is a delicious looking jar of chocolate raspberry chia seed pudding, and I cannot wait to dig in. And knowing that I have a healthy chocolate breakfast waiting for me in the morning is definitely a reason to get out of bed. And if you wanted to kick it up a notch and serve it as a dessert, you could even drizzle a little bit of melted chocolate over the top. That would make it extra special. My tropical mango chia seed pudding includes my coconut chia pudding, my mango fruit compote, my honey Greek yogurt, freshly chopped pineapple and kiwi, toasted shredded coconut, macadamia nuts, and a splash of lime juice. One bite will instantly transport you to your favorite beach somewhere. We'll begin by making a fresh mango compote, and you can use fresh or frozen. So we're going to add 1 cup of mangoes to a saucepan. Give that a quick stir. And if you're using frozen mangoes like I am, you can put a lid on it just for a little bit to help them defrost quicker. And as they're starting to soften, we can go ahead and add a tablespoon of maple syrup, half a teaspoon of vanilla, a dash of salt, and half a teaspoon of lemon juice for a little freshness and to wake up the flavor. Now we'll just continue to stir it so that nothing is sticking to the bottom. Now we can use a potato masher to go in and squish them down. And now we'll let it simmer for about 3 or 4 minutes to allow the compote to thicken up a little. Now that my compote is nice and thick, I'm going to go ahead and transfer it to a shallow plate just to help it cool off quicker. That smells absolutely amazing. And now while our burner is still warm, I'm going to go ahead and throw on a small pan and show you how quick and easy it is to toast your coconut. In a non-stick fry pan, you'll want to add about a teaspoon of butter, and then we'll spread that around to allow it to melt. And then we're simply going to dump in about 1/3 cup of shredded coconut. And then we'll add about a good dash of salt. And then we're going to mix it around to coat all the coconut in the butter. And then keep an eye on it because it's going to start toasting very quickly. So I want to give it a quick stir. You can see it's already starting to toast. And within a minute, we now have some perfectly toasted coconut. So go ahead and transfer that to a bowl. And that smells absolutely amazing. And now that our mango compote has cooled off a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and add it to my chopper cup that came with my immersion blender. And then simply snap on the lid, put it on top of the cup, and blend on high. And now we have this perfectly smooth, delicious mango compote that's going to taste incredible in our pudding. If you like coconut as much as I do, then when you prepare your chia seed pudding for this recipe, go ahead and use canned coconut milk instead of the almond milk. It's going to be a little bit thicker, but it's going to give a little more of that coconut flavor, and it also gives a little bit more of a milky white color. So I have a batch here that I made up using the coconut milk instead of almond milk. So to layer our pudding, I'm going to go ahead and start with this coconut milk chia pudding. Add about 1/2 cup of pudding. Now we can add some delicious kiwi, and I've went ahead and sliced some in half. And to make this extra beautiful, we're going to go ahead and slide these kiwi down the edges so that we can see their beautiful half circle shape. So So I find it works best to go ahead and add these after I've poured the pudding in. These are so beautiful, and I just love that fresh green color that they add. This feels more like an art project than breakfast. So now I'll go ahead and add some of our delicious mango fruit compote. Now we could have just taken some mangoes and blended them together to make like a mango puree, but doing it this way with the compote, cooking it down, and then adding a little bit of those flavor additives just really takes this to another level. And I know it's a little bit more work, but I think it's totally worth it. All right, so I add enough mango to make sure we get a really beautiful orange layer. Matches my shirt. And then now we can add in a beautiful white layer of our honey Greek yogurt. And then we want to leave about a ½ inch at the top for our extra toppings. And now we can take a lime and just give it a little squirt with some fresh lime juice that'll really wake it up. And the best part is having your fingers smell like lime. And then I've taken some chopped pineapple. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some of those on top. We'll make sure we get some around the edges so that they can add to our beautiful sidescape. Oh, sidescape, is that a word? It is now. Perfectly describes the sides of our beautiful chia seed pudding cups. And then now we can add some of our freshly toasted coconut. And I love that really pretty little brown edge that it gives to them. It's a really gorgeous contrast to the white of our yogurt. And then on the very top, to add a little more crunch and some texture, we're going to add a few white macadamia nuts. I know, this keeps getting better. And because I can't help myself, we'll go ahead and add just a couple more of these little kiwis here at the back, just for a little bit of height and an extra little pop of color. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to go put on my flip-flops and lounge in a chair. That looks absolutely delicious and is just oozing with tropical goodness and sunshine. Now we have our 4 delicious chia seed puddings elevated 4 different ways. We have peanut butter banana, we have our blueberry cheesecake, we have chocolate raspberry, and we have our tropical mango. As you can see, these took a little bit of effort, but I think they are completely worth it. Not only are these puddings going to be a nutrient-dense, delicious, nutritious way to start your day, but they're also going to be emotionally satisfying because you'll be enjoying some of your favorite flavors without any of the unnecessary sugar or processed ingredients. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen, and this was so much fun and felt more like a creative art project than cooking. If you'd like to see the complete recipe cards for each of these 4 puddings, please visit my website, which is gentletummy.com. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you know someone who loves some fresh ideas for some nutrient-dense and delicious breakfast, please share this video with them. And I cannot wait to have you with me in my kitchen again next time.